It's time to take 10 minutes for Torah with Rabbi Joel Finkelstein.
Welcome to our discussion of Parshat Devarim, wise folks. If you look in the Parshat Devarim, we find that Moshe is looking for wise people. He doesn't think he can do it all on his own and he needs assistance. So he's looking for Anashim Chachamim Unvonim, Viduim L'Shivtechem. He's looking for people who are wise and understanding. And then indeed he took people who were Anashim Chachamim Viduim. He put people who were indeed wise people. He put them in charge. The nature of their job is an interesting question. For what do we need wise people? Is it B'Roshechem, to be leaders? Leadership requires wisdom. Or is it V'atzavet Shoftechem? Is that the same as the judges who were appointed so that they need wisdom? We look at the story of Solomon, as I recently learned from a wonderful teacher in Israel, Rabbi Chaim Sabato. He says that Shlomo wished for wisdom for both elements, for the shvita, lishpot d'am, in order to judge, in literally judging, the word shofet, but judging also means, in Ugaritic, shaputu, it also means to lead. For leadership, you also need wisdom. As we know from the Rashi in Parshas Pinchas, wisdom, lalechet k'neged rucho shel kol echad v'echad. Moshe asked for a leader for the people who is isha sheruach bo, somebody who had a spirit in him. And Rashi says a leader needs to have the wisdom to understand how to work with the wisdom of kol echad v'echad. He says people are not the same, so I need a leader who's sovel, who can tolerate kol echad v'echad lefi dato, every single person and their style, their way, their inclination. So we need wisdom to lead. We need wisdom to judge. Then the question is, from where is wisdom? Chochmah me'ayin, you might say, where is wisdom from? What kind of wisdom are we talking about? Well, here, wisdom for judgment, is it wisdom from the Torah, or is it wisdom in general? We know that this story here, as it's described here, is described as if it's something that Moshe came up with, but we know in Yitro that it was Yitro who came up with it. That was not Torah, that was wisdom from the nations, wisdom from a Gentile. Perhaps he converted, perhaps he didn't, but originally a Gentile named Yitro, who advised how to lead the Jewish people. The notion of whether wisdom comes from inside or outside, whether what he wants is people who are Torah scholars or he wants people who are wise in general, as Rav Sabato pointed out, is dangerous. Because if you have too much wisdom from the outside, perhaps we have an undue influence of the outside on the inside. Perhaps we have the influence of Egyptian knowledge or Midianite knowledge, which may be tinged with Egyptian philosophy, Egyptian ideas. On the other hand, we do need ideas from the outside. Then the question is, what is the ultimate chokhmah of the Jewish people? We heard an interesting lecture when I was in Israel this past week from Chaim Navon, who thought that different interpretations have been given as to what is the wisdom that the nations will say, Rak Am Chacham V'Navon, that these people are so wise. Is it things like astronomy that even the Gentiles who don't know Torah can appreciate? Or no, that it's the Torah that ultimately people will come to appreciate? There's another interesting question, and that is, Moshe is looking for wise people to lead the Jews, but is Moshe a wise man? Isn't it interesting that we never find him described as a wise man? Someone at the class pointed out that, well, he's described as an anav mikodam, as more modest than everyone else. And the ultimate idea of wisdom is to know you don't know. So the most wise person is not someone who's known as a wise person. The wisest person is someone who continuously thinks he doesn't know, so he keeps trying to learn from others to learn how to know. The notion that Moshe may not be the wisest is developed in one of the Sephardic Sfarim written by the same author as the Imam Loes. The Imam Loes has a whole essay about how Moshe may not have been the most wise person. He needed time to think about things. So ultimately, it's not the wisest of all people that we need, but someone who has a good heart and who's willing to work hard and to be humble about their ideas. After all, if Moshe was so smart, he might have thought that, I can outsmart the Torah. But the notion that he was a humble vessel to receive the wisdom of the Torah made him the right candidate for the job. That he was willing to receive Torah and guidance and learning about administration from his father-in-law. This is what made him truly wise. Man, who is a wise person? One who learns from everyone else. So this notion of chokhmah is very, very important. We learned in our class that you can find on YouTube on the notion of Ben Sira, that even the notion of the wisdom of Solomon is when he speaks about the importance of wisdom at the beginning of Mishlei, the beginning of the book of Proverbs. We have so much about wisdom and how important it is. Is he talking about wisdom, worldly wisdom, or is he talking about Torah wisdom? We said that actually, ironically, the book of Ben Sira, which is considered not such a kosher book, thinks that the wisdom really comes from the Torah. And the book of Mishlei says that wisdom is wisdom. Wisdom comes from all over. And perhaps that was the type of universal wisdom that Shlomo shared with others, and people came to hear his wisdom about the trees and the birds and things like that. But even in the book of Mishlei, it is, as Rabbi Sabato pointed out, it is the Yirat Hashem, Hiyotzaro, the ultimate, the ultimate aspect of wisdom is the notion of Yirat Hashem, of the fear of God. And surely as an Eved Hashem, as a servant of God, Moshe had that ultimate wisdom, the wisdom of the Yiras Shamayim, of fear of heaven, the awe of heaven. That leads to the greatest wisdom of all. So, it's true, we want wise people to lead our people. We want people who have their eyes wide open, are learning Mikol Adam, they're learning from all those around them. But ultimately, we want Chochmat Lev. When people who have a wise heart, ultimately, wisdom has to come from the heart. You see sometimes people who are very brilliant come up with all kinds of inventions, all kinds of ideas. They lack that emotional intelligence, they lack that sense of the heart, and that is not helpful. So, indeed, we're looking forward to Vashiva Shovtaich Rishonah V'yotzech V'atchila. We're always praying for new and better leadership in the future. In the end, Mashiach will come and will be a chacham like David HaMelech. He will be as wise as David. He will be a wise person, but ultimately, that wisdom can't just be brainy wisdom. It has to be chokhmat lev, the wisdom of the heart, to understand the heart of everyone, to be able to lead people with that a sense of humility and understanding all the different people he's leading. And with that will be the ultimate chokhmah. That's the kind of chokhmah that Moshe Rabbeinu had. That's what Shlomo HaMelech had. That's what David had. And one day, Mir Hashem, Mashiach also will have that wisdom to know how to lead the tremendous diversity of people in the world, and to be able to bring that wisdom of the heart to indeed redeem the whole world. Thank you for joining us here at the Baron Hirsch Congregation for a discussion of the Parsha. Join us each week for a discussion of the Parsha and the holidays. And if you don't mind, give us a like, give us a share to spread the word about 10 minutes for Torah. Thank you.
This has been 10 Minutes for Torah with Rabbi Joel Finkelstein.